Where is it? Are we live?
We are live now, Todd. We're live, but I'm going to go to my page and
get to the page.
Get to the comments section if I can figure out how to get there.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, while you're doing that.
We're pre-live. We're live. We'll be starting here in a second. Oh, live, one viewer. There we are. That's me. See if I can get in there.
Get to the comments section.
Oh, wait. Mary Bauer just jumped in.
We're pre-live.
There.
Mom's on.
Now I shut myself off. Hi, Mary. There you go. Post. Hi, mate. I told matey. How about Mary?
Mom?
Yeah, I wrote matey. All right, so now we'll do that. So let's go ahead and share out onto the timeline. See if I know how to do that.
I'm on there. Oh, you said hi, matey.
Yeah, I know. Oh, mom's like a pro at sharing. I'm trying to share it, and she's like showing me up.
You're a pirate, Mom.
Yeah, hold on. We'll be starting here in a second. We're just doing the pre-oaf setups. If you are watching and you want to share it out, you can. That would be good. Let's see if I can share it from here. Yay.
The flag waving is killer, Tim.
You like the flag waving? Oh, wait, here we go. Oh, wait, I'm getting quotes. You're a pirate, Mom. Flag waving, you're a genius. That's right. Okay, here we go. I finally figured share the page you manage. I'm sharing.
Well, I'm on Facebook on my computer. It's on there.
Posting to my timeline.
Oh.
There we go.
Very nice, Tim.
Okay.
Well, welcome to Only on Fridays. It's my week. And
oh, dude, I just hit the power button.
You did. What does that mean?
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Hold on, Todd. Todd, I just lost you. I think I shut off my power.
Oh.
Oh, you're back.
You didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah, I was screwing on my phone and I powered it off.
You were done with the topics I chose.
Hey, Nan. Nan Sutherland has joined.
Really?
Nan joined. Nan, welcome back from the Dakotas. I know that you're constantly 24/7 watching the events going down in Nebraska or North Dakota.
And that's good, Nan.
And that's good.
More power to you. Yeah.
That's good. It's
very
good.
much so. Very much so.
Hey, and if you want to, Nan, feel free to share this out on your timeline. Today is Todd's week, but before we get going, Todd, we can, you were kind of saying some of the other things that are just happening today. The recent release of Hillary emails once again. What's up with that?
Tim, I'm a hardworking man. Okay, hardworking man. I have very little time. Mm-hmm. I spend a lot of time. Mm-hmm. The only free time I had this week was on this post, and
it showed, Todd. That was about 45 seconds of time. Wow.
For me,
you've got a long way to go to figure out the difference between a research reporter and I don't know what that was.
It was much longer than that. So anyway, in between like demoing a house and pushing a whole bunch of big crew, all those things, I'm like actually trying to speed read news because I don't have TV at home because I hate it. And yeah. So I see this wicked frickin' post on Facebook at lunch about, from some of my military buddies. There's just like, oh, Hillary frickin' FBI under investigation, more emails, blah. And then like 5 minutes later, actually more about like a half hour, lunch is about over. Here it comes that, basically they had said, hey, there's a whole bunch more emails. There's like 12 of them. And it's going to implicate her and it's going to be awful. And
12
she'll be
emails.
Done. Yeah, 12 emails.
Come on, Todd.
Yeah. No, it was 12. I think I'm dead on 12. And so I'm just like, is this bullshit or is this fact? And it turned out after 30 minutes that it was bullshit. And, wasn't her server, wasn't her emails, had nothing to do with any topic that she talks about. Had to deal with Weiner or Wiener, whatever. his
Wiener.
name
I
was.
call him Wiener because
Yeah,
we all know why. I mean, how can you not remember his name as Wiener?
I don't know why he warrants any of my time whatsoever, and I thought he was dead to me. He was dead to me a long time ago. So
I thought
Wiener
he was
made a
out of
reappearance
office.
today, and that's what the FBI
How
email
embarrassing.
scandal for Hillary was, and it wasn't really about Hillary.
Well, wait.
There's-
Here's what I heard. I read
Okay.
this 30 minutes ago. The emails they're referring to was from the Wiener guy's wife, who was the aide to Clinton. Her job was actually to take emails sent to Hillary and print them. She couldn't print them from supposedly, the government server. So she would forward them to her personal email and then print them from there and give them to Hillary in print form. And based on the prior investigation, in the prior investigation, same stuff was looked at. That girl never got anything that was classified. So more than likely it'll end up being nothing.
Well, what was that freaking game they played? It was like 7 steps to Kevin Bacon. This what this has become? 11 days from an election. 7 steps to Hillary and her email. That's where I'm at. I wasted 20 minutes of my time on this, and it's like, really, Wiener? Okay,
But I think
good.
I think that topic, so
Yeah.
the Republicans were like, wow, here we go. They think there's something going on here. And I think that is part of, you had it titled King Has No Clothes. I put King and Queen because in actuality, both candidates have a lot of what seems to be false personas in front of them, where in this email server, when the Republicans look at Hillary, they're saying there is shit going on. Because of the fact that she's being so evasive with her communications. It's very similar to somebody that's trying to hide something. That's why they feel
Well,
uncomfortable.
sure, but if you were witch hunted for like 20 plus years, I'd be a little bit sensitive too. Okay,
Okay.
Here comes another one.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
So you're saying
There's
history
Yeah.
forced her to be the way she is.
There's no indictments. Let's move on. Okay. Yeah, and you already said in some of your other posts, it's just like precedence was set by the previous administration, where it wasn't just a couple thousand emails, it was millions. That's it, and days where they weren't even freaking trackable.
Yeah,
Didn't turn them over.
it's true.
But that was okay. Yeah. we didn't
Hey,
do
Steve
nothing about it.
Santek joined. Hey, Steve. Give thumbs up for Steve. Thumbs up, Steve showed up. Welcome, Steve. We're talking emails, naked kings and naked queens right now.
So I got that going on at lunchtime, and then I'm doing heavy demo. Okay, and here's the other, kind of tangent on the whole day. Because you told me it's just like, hey, you look like you're really pissed off today.
No, I said you looked like you're actually in the military again.
Yeah. Okay, well, whatever. All right, see this right there? This is not a zip. This is where it's called lath and plaster, and it's like old houses, and we're tearing all this stuff out down to the studs. And you do it aggressively, and this is what lath does when it hits your nose. Okay, that's one. Two is there's a staple buried up in here.
Ooh,
and that's from
let's
Monday.
zoom in on that.
Yeah.
I want to see that hole in your head.
Okay, hang on. Let's see where it's at. Yeah.
Dude.
That's what I said. Okay, and that's from a house that I believe midgets or carnies lived at. Okay, that we're tearing apart also. Low light conditions. I'm grabbing bags and trying to put them in another room. Crouched, walking.
So you broke your head open.
See an open door. And who frames a frickin' 2x4
hey.
halfway up the door?
Hey, Dad.
Midgets do.
Dad
Yeah.
just joined.
Dad just joined. So anyway, the reason for telling you this is not that I'm upset about getting wounded. It's just that I had to work so hard, at 50.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if my Social Security is going to be there later because they're spending it, So I have to work additionally harder in case it's not there.
No, it will not be there. Let's clear that up right now. Your Social Security will not be there.
Topic in the future, Tim. Social Security.
Now I want to know, after you got stapled, the mom says it may disqualify you for being president, but after you got stapled, did you feel like your positions on anything, politically or personally changed? Did you mentally change?
The light did not go on when I hit the board, Tim. And I hit
Dad
it.
wants to see the wound again.
Dad wants to see the wound. Dad, I want you to know that I didn't let him numb it. I just took the staple without it. It's awesome.
Took the staple, no numbing.
No, no,
Oh,
man.
Steve Santek says Social Security will never be gone. Are you crazy? Well, I'm crazy. I'm crazy like a fool, Steve. But here's what I believe:
Yeah.
Social Security will not go away. What will happen is it will become semi-insolvent and it will reduce benefits. So you cannot plan on Social Security being there at the level it is today. That's what I think.
Yeah.
So
So
Steve
Tim,
is
the other
actually
thing-
from the financial space, so Steve kind of understands some of these numbers. We can't just bullshit now because Steve is here.
Steve is here.
Yes.
And we don't ever bullshit anyway, Tim.
We do bullshit, but I will try to be more accountable. Steve's here. I'm going to be honest.
He doesn't think that
Honester.
he thinks it's solvent. It's going to be solvent.
Steve has not commented yet whether or not solvent or insolvent is an appropriate word.
Well, I want to
think
hear
he's waiting.
solvent is what I want to hear. I want to hear solvent in 15 years is what I want to hear.
You want the same money today as you would. You think
Yeah, yeah. And I don't want to have to work till I'm like 75 at this rate. you
Mom
know?
has now degraded you from president to all the way underneath VP. Now you can only have a cabinet seat or
Well,
appointment.
you being family know that I would not be vetted well at all.
You would
in my
not vet
past.
out well.
No, I would not.
You would not.
So,
So
yeah,
anyway,
maybe-
let's get back to your naked king and naked queens thing.
I was trying to like tie it into something with childhood, and it had to do with that book, Tim. And
Yeah.
and I was traumatized. I think you were too. You got Grimm's fairy tales. It's like
Okay,
all of them.
okay.
They're cooler than hell. We're outside playing Robin Hood, saving maidens. We're doing all this stuff. It's awesome. Suddenly, this book appears out of nowhere, and it's this dude. The king has no clothes. And Mom's reading it, or I don't know. I'm washing it out because it's so traumatic. But yeah, this guy who's the king of this country is parading around naked in front of his people, and it was just like the worst fairy tale
Now,
ever.
everybody's read this book, Todd. Everybody knows
Yeah.
about the book.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
everybody's
So-
seen the naked statues of Trump.
Right? Well, I totally washed that out because I didn't look at it. But the stuff that's going on, it's just.
Well, hold on. Let me
You-
flip over. I'm going to flip over. Did you share any links that were associated to nakedness?
I got references down at the bottom, Tim. I did my homework.
Okay, hang on. I'm flipping over to that screen. Hang on. We'll
Yeah,
move
yeah,
our
exactly.
faces.
Tim's calling bullshit on his brother early.
Let's go to
All right,
Todd's.
let's see.
Let's go to Todd's exhaustive post where he wrote so much. And oh, by the way,
right.
Steve
And
says
working.
Steve says
And
the reason why he
working.
says it'll never go away is nobody can take the political damage
not going to be
from.
there anymore.
Nobody wants the political damage from killing Social Security, so they'll never let it happen.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
are these links, Todd? I don't see them.
They're down at the bottom of the page, Tim.
Well, which one's about
you-
nakedness?
Oh, there's nothing about nakedness. I threw that in there because I love it so much. Basically, this was just basically taking a synopsis of what's going on right now.
Okay.
Because they portray themselves as something that they're not a lot of times. And my thing was with the king with no clothes was basically the Republican Party is actually abandoning the guy that's, their standard bearer right now. And, I've been traveling the last couple of weeks. It's been busy.
So he's been
But,
exposed.
He came out and he made those bad statements in the past about women, and they weren't just bad; they were horrendous. I wouldn't let this guy watch my dog if it wasn't at my house.
I would let him watch. I would let him watch my dog.
No,
I would.
maybe a rabbit.
I would.
Rabbit dog.
Any
I
dogs.
wouldn't watch-
I would let him
no,
watch animals.
It's all about trust, and it's all about personal, and it's just like, is this guy likable? Is this somebody that represents me and represents the American people? I think not. And what was perplexing to me is not only people who might differ from his views and not be part of his political system and party, but even his own party, they're abandoning ship. The Republican National Chair is not giving money. Ryan said, please don't come to Wisconsin. We don't want nothing to do with you. And they're pulling all the plugs and sending all the money down range, to save the House if they
Hold on
can,
now.
and the Senate.
No, I'm with you. Hold on though, because recently, like if you go to 5:30, I have heard worse at your poker games, but I do agree with your brother. Steve is now agreeing with you, Todd. You have a financial guy behind you.
Solvent. I'm looking for solvent.
No, you're not getting solvent. But
Solvent.
you're getting
Solvent.
agreement. That's all you're getting.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey,
Well,
Hey,
early
so
was-
here's what's interesting, though. Here's what's interesting. You're talking about the clothes, right? So I would say
Right.
they were all naked after the third debate. And now what's happening is they're putting their clothes back on because if you go to 538.com, my favorite polling site that averages everybody together,
Yeah.
you'll see that the polls are actually tightening over time. Here, let me pull this up. I'll show you. I'll bring it up on the screen. Here you go.
Okay.
Here's the current polls, and you can see right now they're actually tightening in the last week or so. So I think over the next
Tim.
couple of weeks they'll be fully clothed again. We'll
Hey,
all
Tim, I
forget.
just wanted to let you know that is my first reference is that site, and it's from the New York Times. That's the coolest poll or post you've made in probably about 3 months. But, you only made like 2 posts before that because you hated Facebook before this.
in your
and now you've
Facebook.
embraced it.
I hate
Yeah,
it. I hate in your Facebook where people put stuff out there to say, "Look at me."
Yeah.
In terms of how cool I am, what I have. This is look at me for what I believe in and maybe have some conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, that site, you can go there and you can see the different pollings on different.
You're talking
whether it's the
538
House.
now? Yeah.
Yeah. Whether it's the presidential,
There's the
whether
Senate.
it's the House, whether it's the Senate, and
Yeah.
it's updated daily. It's not
Hourly.
their not-
They actually updated as new polls come out.
Right, exactly.
And it shows
right
it up here.
now,
Updated 59 minutes ago for Senate.
right. It was
Whoa,
still
the
60%.
Senate race is going more Democrat right now, according to 538. Look at that.
Yeah,
It was polling at
it was
two-thirds. Now it's at
60% yesterday.
73.
It was 60% yesterday, and now they're saying 73.2% is going to go Democratic. Okay. Now I couldn't find the link to the House. I didn't have a whole bunch of time, but I know the presidential race is like 92% Hillary,
Who
and that was
cares
like
about the
30
House?
minutes ago. So
And I guess that's your transition to your gerrymandering,
well,
which, here's Wikipedia, gerrymandering.
Well, before we get to that, yeah, we got that. The House doesn't look like it's going to change hands. It's going to be a really close contested battle, but it looks like the Republicans are going to retain control. All right. So,
But talk to me. I want to know, when you said gerrymandering, I thought this is not an issue about the GOP, and it's not an issue about the Democrats. It's both those suckers do it.
oh, dude, I have massive references down at the bottom on gerrymandering. One, how to solve it, and two, what it is and the history of it. Okay. And yes, you're correct, Tim. Both parties are really, really guilty of this. Okay. Now, gerrymandering is basically voting districts. All right. So the state is responsible for this, following the rules set out by Congress and the Constitution and the Voting Rights Act.
Here's the links
okay?
Todd's talking about. You can get these on
Yeah.
onlyonfridays.com.
Okay, so every
Hey, Jan. Keep going.
every census, Tim, so whoever's in power, they go in and they make new rules and they set up new districts. Now, one would think that they would be pretty basic and, be fair and have kind of like straight lines when you're looking at a city or even out in the country. This is like a jigsaw puzzle I don't want to buy. You have jigsaw puzzles. I know you like jigsaw puzzles, Tim.
Only when trapped. Only when trapped.
Yeah, so
with
you want
family.
like clean lines and like a good jigsaw puzzle. Gerrymandering is like
Hello,
a
Carmen
jigsaw
joined.
player's nightmare.
Hi, Carmen.
Okay,
Yep.
and and it changes every census or whoever's in power.
Jan.
Okay, who
Yep.
who are you waving at now?
I was waving at Jan.
Jan, who's Jan?
I'm trying to interact with the people in the stream.
You're doing a good. You're doing a good job, Tim. So anyway,
I'm
the
interacting.
gerrymandering thing is basically they draw new lines to give them, the
Yeah, but I get all
the
that.
cutting edge.
I mean, who in chat doesn't know what gerrymandering is? I mean, I showed you the link. I think the more interesting question is, like, one, do people think it's one party over the other
No.
more than, like, do they
Both
think
of
it's
them
more
guilty.
Democrat versus Republican?
Both of them guilty. Whoever's in power, they're doing
Okay,
it.
and then two,
Yeah.
there was actual case law, which actually was mentioned when we were talking about Supreme Court, that was overturned by the current court that used to kind of force
came
one
through in
person, one vote.
2014. Roberts came through in 2014 and said basically the racism issue, disenfranchisement due to racism has already been, racism's a thing of the past, obviously.
Santek agrees.
It was what Robert said, and which completely made everybody angry because it's not gone. It's not getting taken care of. And, but it set case precedents where you can't bring this up again, basically, and fight it.
But it also ties to the whole voter intimidation and making it more difficult to register.
Disenfranchisement, yes.
Nita joined.
Nita joined too. So Tim, gerrymandering's one thing, okay? Disenfranchisement is a whole different thing, okay? Suppressing the vote, all right? Now, this goes hand in hand with voter fraud, okay? So, like, if you were to read the internet and all the rabid dogs, it's just like, voter fraud. We have to keep people from voting twice, or aliens from frickin' trying to vote, or all this other stuff. Now,
That's
case studies.
Alien coming down.
What's that?
That was an alien coming down to vote.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Nice, Tim. So if you Google, voter fraud, verified instances, it's negligible. It's almost zero.
So there's no voter fraud.
Yeah, one or two crazy people.
It's a waste of time. I wonder if everybody would agree there's no voter fraud. This whole voter fraud thing is a joke.
But see, right now, Republicans in control, and predominantly disenfranchisement is a Republican thing. They're trying to put down the vote because, by and large, the people that have difficulty, getting the voting registration are Democrats. They're going out to vote early, coming in, get out the vote drives, all these things. Yes, I know. We're not.
Carmen says, "Nice thug vote, nice thug voice, Todd."
But no. Okay, so you're laughing your ass off. Now we're gonna call Mom later, so she can set you straight. Now, I'm just telling you what research is telling me.
Carrie Johnson's not agreeing with you. Carrie Johnson says rubbish to you.
Call in.
Carrie Johnson needs to call in. And then Bryson's like, what the hell? Bryson's like, what the hell?
I'm trying to throw it down, okay?
It's not landing.
It's not landing?
But go ahead. Finish your throw. Finish it. Finish your throw.
You got me laughing.
Because I think if I was going to take Carrie's, position, being a conservative, I would say her point would be they're worried about an uneducated vote, which is really a falsified vote.
What I'm worried about is people that are able to vote, that have the right to vote, not being allowed to, or making it more difficult so they can't.
Yeah,
so the elderly people and people that are poor have a poorer chance of doing this if you make it difficult for them. Okay, ways they do this, early voting. They cut down on that. Ways they do this, cutting down the polling places where you can cast a vote, so there's less of them. Changing the hours for that.
I would agree with that.
Less of those.
I agree with that.
Okay.
But again,
make it more difficult to prove that you're a citizen so that you can vote. Okay.
But you just said falsified votes aren't real.
For instance, I went to go get my license, Tim. This is
Hold
back
on, Mom
in
wants
January.
the phone. She wants to call in. Let's see if it works. Here, Mom. Here's the number for you: 608-234-4630.
So Tim, I went to go get my license. Okay, I had moved since I had my last license. I had to change this, so I had to get new voter registration. One would think, being a 20-year retired military veteran.
Hold on, Todd. Hold on. We have a conservative voice in the chat saying, "Is this Echo Chamber Fridays?" And I would say, absolutely not, Carrie. Absolutely not. She is not agreeing that the GOP is into disenfranchisement.
Oh God. Get Mom on the phone.
She is not clarified. Now I want to understand. Seek to understand.
Okay.
She feels like that voter fraud is diluting the vote.
Okay.
But she does agree fraud doesn't happen enough to talk about. So again, I think Carrie's position that is valid, and the Republicans' position that is valid, is that they're worried about any party that tries to get the vote out just to get a vote out. Not an educated vote, but just a vote. You want people to vote when they actually understand what they're voting on. And so to make it a little more difficult to vote isn't a bad thing.
So the Voting Rights Act, before that, they used to have to take a test for just that thing. And what they said was that no, that shouldn't be a qualifier. Every American citizen has the right to vote.
Who
Who
said
has
that?
the right to determine
said that?
the United States Congress. Yeah. Voting Rights Act, Tim.
Voting Rights Act.
Yep, look it up there, buddy.
Well, okay. Well, not right now.
Okay, it's down there. So anyway, they said no, there shouldn't be a requirement to take a test to see how qualified you are to vote. That's not,
Hey,
it's a God-given right as an American citizen.
Our friend Kerry Johnson, again, a conservative voice in this rabid pool of liberals.
I gotta have some tomato juice. I can't handle this.
Remember, we love our Republican friends. Kerry
We do love our
Johnson's
Republican
wonderful.
friends. But I'm very strong about this.
Yeah,
You
but being
shouldn't have to
strong-
take a test to qualify because the qualifier is that
Okay,
you're
I'm
an American
sorry.
citizen, not a smart American citizen necessarily.
All right, here's the key, though. The key is that what we want to do on this stream, Todd,
Yes.
and Kerry agrees you can be dumb as a rock and still vote.
Okay, so what's the test about?
Well, I just think that's the only two positions, and maybe Kerry can clarify what the other position is, because I agree that this voter fraud thing is not happening in a number
Right.
to make any impact, and I don't think that you can look at and say, well, this intimidation stuff. It says the number's not working. Oh, maybe I have to have a here. Well, do you want us to call Mom? Should we call Mom right now?
Let's get Mom in this. Yeah.
Okay, I will.
I'm ready.
I will call her up. Let's see her.
But Tim, less than 100 years ago, women couldn't vote either, and there were people that said, "Hey, this woman thing, I think it's BS. I don't think they should be able to vote."
Well, I just don't see.
Same thing.
I don't see what the core issue is. Like, if we believe that fraud is not happening.
What I'm saying,
Oh wait, here's Mom.
hi Mom.
So my call-in number's not working, huh?
Well, that's what it said to me.
Okay, that's fine.
Hi Mom.
Yeah, hey, hi, Toddy.
I'm fighting the fight for you.
So,
For me,
so Nan
too.
is saying, Todd, Nan is saying that it's election fraud, and Kerry's actually agreeing with her. It's election fraud, not voter fraud, that people think is going wrong.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. I'm good with that.
But both parties, again, participate in that activity.
Right.
Well, here's the thing, Tim. Tim, I think the thing that people are riled up, or at least people that I'm talking to, is these issues around voter suppression that are going on everywhere. One being the ID, being required. Well, some people say, oh, well, what's the big deal about that? Well, it's a big deal if you're elderly. You can't even remember where your damn purse is half the time.
You're not there yet, though, Mom.
You're not there, Mom.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I'm just saying it is a problem. People can't always get an ID. I don't know if you saw the article in the paper today in the Journal, but they were saying that Wisconsin got in a heap of trouble, saying, "Oh, ID's no problem. You go down to where you get your license, and they will get you in 6 days an ID." Well, that's a bunch of baloney. That has not been working. And admittedly, it has not been working. And the courts are saying to them, you must call these people back and see if you can locate them. Well,
Right.
come on.
Right.
These people have been going in for months, and they don't have
So let's pause. Let's pause. Why? So everybody agrees that reduced polling places and more stringent rules to qualify to register to vote it makes it difficult to vote. But what is that's the con? No, hold on. Everybody gets that. Everybody gets the con. What's the pro? What's the pro?
Well,
Because
first of
most
all,
of the people
all of
are
these
elderly
restrictions are being based
or
on
poor.
this phantom idea that we have all this voter fraud. We don't have voter fraud. We don't have people trying to vote in 2 states. I mean, come on.
We do need Walt Lummis.
So minuscule is laughable.
Well, so you're saying voter fraud is the only pro. There is no other pro to all this stuff that's going on.
I'm saying people aren't trying to vote twice. I mean, come on, that's laughable. This is just a ruse.
Oh, hey, Tim Dolman.
To be able to put all these restrictions on minorities, people of color, the elderly, the young. Oh, they don't want the young voting, and I can tell you why.
Oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Carrie, do you want me to call you? Do you want me to call you, Carrie?
Hey, Tim.
What?
Gary, come on.
Oh, wait. I just lost my comment thread. Okay.
Hey, Tim.
What?
Tim, they had this program out, and I think it's in 27 states, if I remember correctly, where it's a computer database that compares different votes in different states. And if it's the same name, it can disenfranchise that person unless they can prove that they didn't vote twice. And there hasn't been any precedent to this at all on voter fraud and that happening. And 99% of the time, higher than that, it's just a clerical error at one state or another. There's not like one person trying to vote in a different state.
We're beating the side.
But it's disenfranchising thousands of people.
Okay. But you have to. I want to understand. Everybody gets why you're pissed about voter disenfranchisement and inability to vote, making it difficult to vote. Everybody gets it. I want to know, and I bet you Carrie can answer, or some Republican should answer me in the comments now or later. What is the pro? What's the pro? If it's not voter fraud, if we all agree voter fraud is not happening enough to warrant all this other stuff, then what's the pro? Because if there's not a pro, then there is some serious shenanigans going on by the people passing these votes.
Bingo. That's a bingo.
There you go.
Now you're on.
Why not? See, you're not. I want to know. There has to be a pro. There has to be.
Hey, Mom.
Todd's calling you. What do you want, Todd?
Mom, what's your thoughts on gerrymandering? Give it to me.
Gerrymandering. He wants your download on that.
Well, you know what? Let he who has not done it cast the first stone, because I agree. I think it's done by both parties. And I don't think it should be allowed. I think we should have an independent commission.
Yeah.
And
You know, what I was reading is they can actually computerize it now.
The article that you had, Todd, on that. Very clear visuals.
Which article was that, Mom?
The one where it drew the lines on how to gerrymander with those 50 voters.
But what name was it? Inside the Swing State Playbooks? Stealth War Against Voters? What America would look like without gerrymandering?
It was. This is the best explanation of gerrymandering.
Okay, here it is. Mom is right, Carrie says, so Carrie's agreeing with you. Here's the article
Carrie.
Todd and Mom are referring to. It's a Washington Post article. Again, it's in the post on onlyonfridays.wordpress.com. Well, let's take a look at this.
We should title it How to Cheat.
How to Cheat would be the name of the... Okay.
Yep. Every high school teacher would know what that was all about. Uh-oh. We got trouble in that paper.
But I do think if the Republican, like if I'm a staunch Republican and if I'm a conservative and I'm trying to defend what the GOP's been doing, because I do believe the GOP is more behind things around voter, basically ratcheting up how rigored the registration process is. That tends to be a Republican activity as of late. I don't know if Carrie would agree, but I look at that and I'm like, well, if they can't explain to me why it is outside of fraud. Okay, and Carrie says gerrymandering is just like a bouncer at an LA hot club.
Nice.
I don't even know what that means, Carrie. What?
I don't care what it means. It's funny.
What does that mean? So you have a bouncer at a hot club.
Ask her if she means walker.
No, she does not mean walker. She's from Texas.
She's from Texas.
Why wouldn't you register voters, says Carrie. But we're saying it should be easier to register.
Because the vote should represent the
pick
Republic.
Lovely women. I get it. Okay, the bouncer picks the cute girls and leaves the other ones, so they let only certain people in the district that they want to vote. I get it.
That's
Carrie's
a good analogy.
Funny. Carrie's funny.
That is funny. That's
We need
witty.
to get her on. We need to give her her own box. Like she could be right here, and then I could be over here.
She needs to call.
We need a conservative voice to offset you.
Yeah. I'm non-biased.
I could be the little head in the middle, and then
this
yeah.
is non-biased, Todd. I'm non-biased. I haven't chose
Okay.
either side. I'm trying to represent both.
Okay.
But yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me,
I could
Tim.
be the crotchety old lady like Maxine.
Carrie, everybody's in a box. Let's not try to inflate. Let's start. Don't fan the flames of sexism right now.
Hey,
Everyone's in a box,
Mom,
except for me.
Mom.
Hey,
can't
Todd's
hear you
yelling
now.
for you again, Mom.
Yes.
Hey, what's your thoughts on what's going on with the presidential race as of late? Reader's Digest version, Mom.
No, he wants to know what you think about what the revelations as of late were.
Of the day, you mean?
Yep.
Gee, I just hope that, I mean, really, that idiot. I'm not talking about Hillary when I say that. Get real. Just get real.
I'm actually more interested in now the
I'm
Senate
saying
race.
that-
I think the Senate race is more interesting to me than the presidential.
Well, it's up to 72% that the Democrats can take it over.
Well, if you
People are
want to keep
good.
talking, I got a topic for you that I was thinking about today that might make your panties a little wrinkled.
What's
so you know
that?
how the GOP is saying they don't have to nominate a judge, right?
Right.
I was thinking about that. Initially, I was pissed about it. Then I started reading about it. I read about the historical precedences. I'm like, they're right. We do not. There's no precedent for how many judges there are. We operated with like less than 7, and like up to 1860, it was 8.
How many seats in the Supreme Court are there, Tim?
Well, currently 9, but it used to be less.
9. Well, no,
Used
right
to be
now
less.
it's 9, right?
Yeah, but it
so
used to be less.
even if it was 7, I think it was before, doesn't matter. Look back in your history books and see what the longest time where no one was appointed was.
Hold on a minute.
Let me save you some time. It's now.
Getting the history book out. Longest time.
Save you some time. It's right now, Tim. They're not doing their job.
Well, Todd, you just rained on my parade. But
Yeah.
I actually think that I actually don't think that. I think that after I thought about it a while, I think that even if they decide not to elect anyone and they bring the judges down to like 7 and 6 and then whatever.
So I don't.
Because
get
right
my
now
way
they're
on-
at an impasse. Like they're taking on the transgender issue that went to the Supreme Court today. They decided to bring it on the docket.
Right.
Transgender bathrooms.
Yeah,
and,
we really need
And
to
it's going to be a tie. So basically, right now that it's a non-action court in any key issue, and then if one person leaves and makes it a conservative court again, then I guess they win with that strategy. But
Okay, so when you're not getting your way, you throw a tantrum and you don't do what you're supposed to
Or you
do.
redraw
That's
the
what it's come down to.
boundaries, right? Or you alienate the young and the elderly and the minorities.
yeah.
That's what we do.
So if you wanted to keep
Not right.
talking, that would be the topic I would throw out to you. Is that I think actually, after I thought about it, I was like, okay, well, I wasn't as upset about it as I was originally. I was pissed originally that they would do it.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to have a Supreme Court functioning if they don't give us the
Carrie,
the
our
verdicts
resident
that we want.
conservative, has agreed that it won't be a tie. Social change will happen and should. And she's actually got a point because the conservative court has been very pro lesbian and gay issues. They've
Okay, there's even a blind squirrel finds a nut, Tim.
Hey, I'm just saying, you got to give them cred when they do it, and they did. Recently, they've been
Yeah,
very supportive
because
of
they're-
certain lesbian and gay rights.
Well, you know, if you if you can't fill the seats, why even have it? That's
Most Republicans agree, according to Kerry. Everyone agrees that those issues can move forward. So, and that's why I'm like, maybe it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's kind of a big deal there. It's not a big deal until there's a really core issue that you got to look at, and then like Citizen United, where people were like, "Is that bad or is that good?"
Really, Tim.
Ellen
That's how
Sabeka.
we're going to decide
Ellen
what
just
we
joined.
can
Ellen just joined. Say hi to Ellen.
and
Mom.
Ellen, yay!
Ellen.
Hi, Ellen.
Ellen just joined. Hello,
Hey,
Ellen.
hey, you're
I'm gonna get
disenfranchising
offline
mom
so
right now,
somebody else
Tim.
can call in, Tim.
Yeah, my phone thing doesn't work, but all right.
Love you. Bye.
I'll see it.
Bye, Mom.
Mom's left us, Todd.
I know it's okay.
We're now done. We're motherless.
Nah, I don't think so.
I'm gonna see if my burner number's off for some reason.
You got to get your Republican friend to call you. I have Republican friends too.
I don't have any burners. What the hell, man? New burn.
So anyway, Tim.
Yep. I found out why the phone there is not working because we have no burners anymore. I have to get my own.
What did we determine from tonight's session?
We figured out that both the king and the queen are naked, and yet getting clothed slowly over time up to election day.
Yes.
We learned that we learned big words like gerrymandering.
Yes.
We did agree as a group that fraud is not an issue.
Right.
I think there was no pushback from conservatives or Dad's talking about registration and weather trends.
He's at the cabin then.
And so we learned that actually most people agree that fraud is not a driver. So I think actually most people would agree that this rigorous registration process is probably not what the average voter would back. Which
Agreed.
then implies it's actually being done to probably manipulate voting behavior. They're influencing polling.
Right. Okay.
And that's it.
And you said...
And we learned, and Steve wanted to point out, he taught you that Social Security is here to stay.
I didn't hear solvent, though.
We did not say solvent. We said here to stay.
I gave up the Cubs game for this. I want to hear solvent.
Social Security is here to stay.
Solvent. You want to hear a good story?
All right. Good story, then we're done. Good story, then we're done.
So last week, whether you know it or not, I was in Maine with my girlfriend.
Okay.
You knew this. And so we flew out there. And one thing's, you're with someone, your loved one, and I get like you, Tim, with Carmen. You get, words that are, the hairy eyebrow, where, if your clothes don't match, that type of thing.
This is the hairy eyebrow he's referring to.
A hairy eyeball is what Sue calls it. But anyway, so, clothes not matching, whatever, because you want to be presentable when you're with your woman in public, okay?
Right.
So anyway, I'm on the flight, and we arrive, and she has not said anything to me for 4 hours about that topic, but she basically told me that my clothing ensemble, as vacationing as it gets, did not match. And I was very, very glad that she still wanted to be with me at that point, in public. And so anyway, fast forward. And
that's how sexy you are, Todd.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so fast forward, we've driven for like 4 hours. It's dark out. We've ate. We're tired. We want to get to the bed and breakfast. We stop at like this gas station to get a written map, okay?
We being the sexy but yet not clothing coordinated Todd.
Right, exactly. But I like a hard copy of a map because I'm a child of the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
All right, as is she. Anyway, the gas station attendant looked at us like we had two heads. They don't have such a thing. We decided that we're going to buy alcohol, because the Cubs game is there, going to be on, blah, blah, blah. She got wine. She got cider, ale, or whatever it is, and I got a 12-pack of Molson. Molson being awesome. So, travel on. We get to the bed and breakfast. And it's a small town, coastal Maine. And, there's valet parking thing going across the driveway, all right? And there's like three cars, all right? And we're like, this is weird. Or I'm thinking this, and I'm tired. And so I'm getting out, and, Sue's just like, hey, let's leave the alcohol in the car. I was just like, no. The Cubs game's on. I don't know where they're going to park the car. Let's take it up. So, boom, she's off before me. I can't figure out what these other three cars are doing, in front of the valet thing. Doesn't matter. We go in. Sue's already talked to the person at the front desk. There's a
beer under the arm.
Yeah. There's a restaurant straight across the hallway, like 10 feet away, all right, from the front desk. So Sue's talking to this lady there. Sue's frustrated. You're trying to check in and get upstairs, and plus we're carrying alcohol, which is, you're not supposed to do in a nice establishment. So, at any rate, she whispers over to me, not really whisper because I'm hard of hearing, as you know, and tells me that's President Bush, H.W. Bush, and his wife Barbara, 10 feet away from us. And poof, she was gone. I looked up and nodded my head to Barbara Bush and went up the stairs. But I was reprimanded for my, not wearing appropriate
You
clothes for
embarrassed
such
your
a seven.
you embarrassed your girlfriend.
Yeah, it was bad, but it was funny because I told her, I said, one, the bad thing that I said out of this is, one, she
It
still
might
loves
go
me.
all the way. To
Two, she was carrying 2 types of alcohol. I was only carrying one, and it was Molson, which is a great beer. There you go.
That was a good story, Todd, and I think that your brush with greatness with Mr. Bush will be something you remember for the rest of your life. Yellow lobster bibs and all.
And I also told her that, HW is a soldier too, war hero as a matter of fact. And Barbara raised 3 kids that were a little bit unruly, and I'm sure that they both understood. So
Okay. All right, well, we'll wrap it up. Steve
there's your party
commented maybe tax positions for next week. That would be a good topic. I've got
it's your
the
week
ball.
next week, Tim.
I've
You've
got the ball. I've got the
Yeah.
ball. So
Bring
I
your
might
game
do
face.
taxes. Maybe I'll do taxes.
Hey.
It's our cast right before election, so who knows? I'll have to. But taxes is a good topic. Taxes is a
Right.
good topic. So let's
Hey, Tim.
tune in next week, and otherwise have a good weekend, guys, and go Cubs.
Go Cubs!
Talk to you later.